Journal Record associate publisher Ted Struley joins us to discuss other stories making news in business this week. Ted, there's a new bill that would affect how Oklahoma spends its tobacco settlement money. How would that work?
Well, it's a little bit complicated. They're still getting payments from the settlement against the tobacco companies. That money now goes into a trust. This bill would allow some of that money to be diverted to pay for some other healthcare related things like medical professionals in schools, for example. It's running into some backlash from people who still want that money protected in the trust. They see this as a first crack in the dam that could really undermine TSET. It'll be a contentious bill.
Tensions between Sandridge Energy and Carl Icahn show no sign of easing. What's the latest there?
Well, the board got together and discussed Carl Icahn's proposals or demands for change on how the board does things. And they sent him back a letter that essentially just rejected everything he was asking for. That's going to not make Mr. Icahn very happy, obviously. And there is some concern that the price shares are going to have to be sold at a premium if the board and other shareholders want to retain control of the company.
Corporate interest appears to be growing in Oklahoma City.
Well, that's right. We talked to the Chamber of Commerce this week, and they said in the last quarter they talked to some 55 companies, which is about average now, who are considering moving or expanding in Oklahoma City. That's up from 38 per quarter just 2 years ago. They also say they're out talking to about 300 companies at a time about staying in Oklahoma and what they can do to make sure those jobs stay here.
A new bill has been filed that could force doctors to call police in some instances. What's that about?
Well, the bill would require doctors to call the police when they suspect foul play sometime. Certainly that would be the case if they have a gunshot victim in the hospital, for example, but also if they're concerned about some bruising or other things they might think might suggest foul play. There's concern about that because some are afraid that'll make doctors put them in a position where they have to make decisions they're not really qualified to make.
Ted Struley with the Journal Record. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Liz.